Alright, YouTubers, leaving Munising, Christmas, Keywoodin, hi Vin, Casino, and heading to St. Ignace, to another casino. I called them, and the water and stuff is shut off, but the power is on, so that means it's free. So that's cool. All I need is power. Keep my pasties frozen instead of having to use my propane. Alright. Away we go. Right, Ben? So, YouTubers, here comes another one of those driving videos from place to place. What I'm going to try to do is I'll give you some music, and during that I'm sure I'll blurt stuff out, but I'll try to give time hacks for like where I'm going to do an actual kind of ramble stuff. Hope that helps. Alright, this is the city of Munising on a cloudy, dreary day at about 2:30. Time hacks are an attempt to let you filter out a long video. Still got color here. Most everything has changed to pumpkin, you know. I'm a little colorblind. I have issues with shades of reds and greens, but it's mostly pumpkin-y. Here comes some music, and at 3 minutes is a ramble. Okay, so I started a new segment. I put new wiper blades on, but my wiper blades don't reach where this is. If the rain gets too bad, I'll move it to the center. And this is probably just going to be a fast time lapse because I think that looks cool when the clouds are like the way they are. So, hope you enjoy. Alright, YouTubers, I figured I'd do a ramble while driving, and this section's got a little bit to look at while you listen to my voice. My ramble's going to be about types of RVs, because this trip had an influence on me, I guess. First and number one, I have no desire to really change out my RV. My Class B Cousin Eddie is exactly what I want to travel in. However, for those of you out there looking and searching and deciding on what to get, this trip for me did something that probably stirs my imagination on changing a little bit. I spent a lot of time with a friend, a fellow RVer, so having a Toad was really friggin' awesome, you know? And it made me go, well, maybe, again, I don't plan to, but maybe I need a little bit bigger RV and a tow car. Or maybe I need a truck, you know, like a truck camper or something like that. Again, going back to no desire, no plans to change out what I have. Now, in this weather, I could have done better driving Eddie around more, and I did a little bit, but there's still a lot of places that this RV just ain't gonna go. Now, some Class Bs are different. Mine, I need to get out and measure, and maybe I'll put a picture of that because it's gonna be forever until I post this. But my ground clearance for like my generator exhaust and my dump tank, whatever you call that connector where you connect, it's probably got a fancy name that I don't know. they're 2 or 3 inches off the ground. So I really can't take Eddie off-road much of anywhere. And lucky I have a hitch, because there are times that if I hit a dip, you know, and go up, that the back end would hit the ground, but the hitch kind of protects my back end. So I'm getting past, so we'll let him pass me. But the idea of having more ability to do more wandering and searching is weighing on me, because I have the bike, and the bike is awesome, and I love when I use it, but let's be realistic, you know, I'm not gonna ride it 1,000 miles every day. I'm not gonna go on a 60-mile round trip bike trip every day. I know, Keek, it's too far. What's the problem? And I guess thanks for chiming in, Keek. That gave me an idea. A bigger RV gives these guys a little bit more room. So there are so many options to consider if you're watching a video trying to figure out what you want to do. I've said many times in the past, when it's hot and in the summer, I just can't drive somewhere and leave these guys in the RV with just a fan going. I've gotten in here and it gets hot, and if you have pets, my opinion, the first thing is you gotta make sure they're safe. You gotta make sure they're comfortable. And you know, if I stop somewhere and it's 90, 95 degrees outside and I want to do lunch for an hour, it's just not realistic in this. So in the fall like this, they're fine, you know. Kiki, what are you doing? You good now? All right. So that's just a ramble about how this trip was a little different for me. I've done it in the past. I've made friends and taken rides with them, and it's pretty cool. And I think for me, I always have the option of renting a car. If you get to an area where there's so much you want to see, renting a car is a good idea. When I was up here a couple years ago, I stayed in Marquette for like 3 weeks. Well, I rented a car for a week, and it was pretty cheap on a weekly rate. And I put like 1,400 miles on that car in a week. So that's always an option of what to do. Because overall, I really don't want to swap out my RV. But it was awesome having somebody to travel with that had a tow. It really was pretty cool. So there's that. Maybe I'll think of more. But for now, that's it on this part of the ramble. And I'll go back to recording and see if the clouds show you anything, and maybe I'll pick a semi-decent piece of music. And that's that. Alrighty, YouTubers, getting ready to turn on to Highway 77, cutting down through the heart of the Upper Peninsula. South 77.
Right. This is much nicer than Santa's sleigh.
Thank you, Elf Boy. On here for about 17 miles. Gets you to US 2. I guess what's funny is I talk a lot about switching RVs, but I don't know why I do it, because I really don't want to switch RVs. It's just every now and then, nothing you're ever going to buy is going to be perfect, you know? And this RV itself is perfect, but the idea of having another vehicle to drive around and get back into some cool places that I was able to get to on this trip, that's alluring, I guess. All right, carrying on. Once they get past me, I'm doing 5 over, so. Germfask, I guess that's how you pronounce it. I've been through here before. I don't need a pumpkin. Oh, and here's another thing. This will make people, whatever it will. Hunting, I got nothing against people hunting. I don't do it, but I got nothing against it. But they need to stop advertising it as deer feed up here. It's deer bait. Because apparently up here...
Get away from the reindeer sometimes.
Dude. Apparently up here it is totally legal to bait deer during hunting season. I don't know. It'll make people think whatever they think. You know, if you have to have a deer to survive, okay, baiting, I guess, but I don't think that's as huntery. Put a big pile of apples, sit in a tree and wait for something to blast. I don't know. So just call it deer bait, not deer feed. I'm doing 61. Not in anybody's way. They got blinkers, steering wheels. Lake Annie Louise. Speed limit 50. God, beautiful still. Still beautiful. This is Blaney. This is Blaney Park on the water tower. Been through here many times. Right, Vin? No, you don't remember seeing it. Kiki's seen some of it. Sometimes she watches. I know a lot of people aren't into these, but if you're gonna RV, you gotta love the drive. Oh my. We're not going for a little bit. Come on, you can make it, brother. St. Ignace, 67 miles. That's where we be going. All right, I'm gonna save the GoPro for a few miles here, save the battery. There's a little color left, a lot of leaves gone. This guy has been following me for about 30 miles, finally decided to pass me. I don't know how many miles. A while. Okay. It's gray. It's dreary. There's splashes of color, but mostly much closer to winter than we are to fall. So we'll get more later. And I had to move the camera. The sign said that the Cut River is one lane of traffic, so the detour must be over. That's kind of cool. I know they've been working on this forever, but it's a pretty high bridge. first glimpse of Lake Michigan. Not a lot to see, huh? It's pretty hazy. Mostly pine and bare hardwoods. So, more later. Maybe when we get to the Cut River.
All these houses.
Shut up, elf boy. Why do I keep this elf boy thing? More Lake Michigan. And more dump drivers. It seems like you get 30 miles from St. Ignace and everybody starts acting silly. You know, I'm doing 65. My only guess is they don't like being behind me because they can't see. Here comes a guy, he's gonna pass 3 people. I'm doing 70 now. Let's see the Cut River Bridge. You don't need to hear me talk about stupid people. Or people doing the same shit I do if I was in my car. This is Cut River Bridge. It's no Mackinac, but you're pretty high. I've stopped, there's a roadside rest right here. I've stopped and looked at it. It's pretty cool. It's 50 through here, peoples. I'm still doing 55 as I slow down. Here comes more Lake Michigan. Through the haze. Pretty, huh? Summer, there are cars parked all along the right side here of people swimming. Not today. Not today, because even though Lake Michigan is usually warmer than Lake Superior, not that much. Not in late November. Not in late October. I've done November twice when talking to this camera. It is October 26, 27, something like that. See if this gets posted before November 27. Lake Michigan seems to have a lot more sand dunes than Lake Superior does. You know, I guess geology and whatnot. Mystery spot is closed. Said rain or shine, and over rain they had closed. boy. It's a dreary, closed day in St. Ignace. And it's cold. I don't know how cold, because this is an old van. It don't tell me.
In 1/4 mile, turn left.
No. It says it's 4:31, 39 degrees. Feels cold. This is Lake Huron. On your right. This is where we're going, elf boy. Oh, we're taking this too quick. Nothing fell. Pretty close. All right, glad for more free RV parking. All right, we're here. Let's turn this crap off and get set. Usually I stay at this for one night on each end of the trip, but this time I'm going to stay a few days and explore the beautiful area around St. Ignace. Those videos are to come. Until then, have a great and wonderful day.